You have been chosen, and that's exactly why there's a movement against you. Silent, strategic, disguised. Maybe you've already felt it. People have changed with you for no clear reason, doors have started closing without explanation, and you've sensed something in the air, as if something is being orchestrated behind your back. And it is. But what you may not know is that God has already seen it all. He hasn't just seen it, He will expose it. Today you will understand why people who seem to be with you suddenly shift their stance. You'll see the pattern behind the attempts to destabilize your life, your faith, your journey. It's not just envy. It's a spirit of sabotage that rises every time God is about to take you to a new level. And yes, a new level is coming. That's why the battle has intensified. But don't be fooled. God didn't reveal the battle to scare you, but to prepare you. And in this message, you'll realize that the exposure that's coming won't be yours. It will be theirs. Those who planned your downfall will be publicly shamed. This word is for those going through a moment where everything feels confusing, where you feel attacked, isolated, or even unjustly treated, without fully understanding why. Don't ignore that feeling. It's spiritual, and the spiritual realm moves before the natural one does. God is showing you that there are people approaching with wrong intentions. Masks are about to fall. What was spoken in the shadows will be revealed in the light. The Bible says in Luke 12:2, "There is nothing concealed that will not be disclosed, or hidden that will not be made known." That's the promise, and it's in motion now. Some people can't stand to see you grow. You didn't have to step on anyone, promote yourself, or sell out. Still, you're moving forward because you have something that can't be bought. God's favor. And favor provokes resistance. There are people trying to pull the rug out from under you simply because they can't explain how you got to where you are. They don't understand that you were chosen, set apart, and anointed, so they try to sabotage you. But their plans are numbered. God is orchestrating situations that will force the truth to surface. What was done in secret, what was plotted behind your back, what was twisted against you, everything will be brought to light, and it won't be by your strength or your outcry. It will be by God's hand. Here's something crucial. The enemy doesn't pursue those who are standing still. He only tries to bring down those who are moving forward. This means that this attack isn't a sign of abandonment, but of advancement. If you're being targeted, it's because there's something precious about you, something hell wants to prevent from happening. You need to understand that spiritual cycles are happening right now, and some of those cycles are about exposure, not to shame you, but to set you free. Some alliances are about to be broken because they were built on deception. Some people will be removed from your life, not because God is cruel, but because He loves you too much to let you stay connected to those waiting for the right moment to bring you down. And yes, there are people like that close to you, people who smile but criticize, who praise but sabotage, who listen but betray, and the Spirit of God is already moving to put an end to it. If this word resonates with you so far, comment now. God has seen what I haven't. Write that in the comments as a declaration of faith. It activates your spiritual awareness and also helps others going through something similar realize they're not alone. Now understand this seriously. There are moments when God allows the battle to intensify, not to destroy you, but to mature you. Sometimes He doesn't deliver you from the furnace. He meets you inside it. And it's in the heat of the pressure that He reveals who's truly with you and who was only there for convenience. How many times have you been loyal to someone who later turned their back on you? How many times have you shared dreams with someone who only wanted to know what they could take from you? How many times have you given more than you received? Those marks aren't random. They're evidence of the selection process God is doing. Not everyone will go with you to the end, and He knows that. What's being revealed now isn't just about others. It's about you too. God is preparing you for a level where your vision needs to be sharper, your spiritual sensitivity keener, and your trust more rooted in Him. He doesn't want you entering new environments with the naivety of the past. That's why some of the pain you're feeling now is training. It's God teaching you to discern who's a covering and who's a trap, who's an ally and who's a threat. And yes, it can hurt to realize that some of those threats were by your side all along. But it's necessary, because He won't let His purpose for your life be delayed by bad company. Many of your delays came from wrong connections. People you tried to carry, but who only drained your strength. People you trusted, but who only fed your doubts. Ties you held onto out of attachment, not God's direction. Now it's time to break them. And God Himself will allow situations to make that clear. Get ready. In the coming days, conversations will reach you. Truths will surface. Alliances will be broken, not by gossip, but by revelation. And you won't need to make a scene, fight, or justify yourself, because the Lord Himself will justify you. He's raising up the right people, people who will help you, not bring you down, people who will cover you, not expose you, because you're entering a season where the enemy tried to stop you, but God decided to accelerate you. And this is where spiritual warfare intensifies. When heaven releases something new, hell tries to sabotage it before it's born. But it won't succeed, because the one who called you is God. The one who sustains you is Him, and the one who will expose every trap is Him too. You're not here by accident. This word reached you because there's something in your spirit that already sensed something was wrong. And now you're starting to understand. What seemed like mere emotional turbulence was actually a spiritual movement. What looked like people pulling away was God protecting you from connections that were already contaminated. And what felt unjust was deliverance. You are chosen. That bothers hell. Because when God chooses someone, He doesn't ask for anyone's opinion. He doesn't consult reputations, histories, or merits. He chooses by purpose. And purpose is intimidating, because it doesn't depend on others' permission to happen. It doesn't need a favorable environment or human support. It depends only on God's sovereign will. And that will is about to be fulfilled in your life, with or without applause, with or without acceptance. The time you're living in demands discernment, because what the enemy wants most is for you to react carnally to what is spiritual. For you to waste energy trying to justify, defend, or even avenge yourself. But that's not the way. God is saying, "Vengeance is mine, I will repay." Those who plotted against you will be exposed by something they can't control. The truth will slip out where they least expect it. And God will lead that process. This requires posture, because when God starts exposing, you need to be ready not to be tainted by others' downfall. What does this mean? That you shouldn't rejoice in the defeat of those who tried to destroy you. You don't need to root against anyone. You simply stand firm because your victory doesn't come from their fall. Your victory comes from God. Spiritual maturity is trusting that God is in control, even when everything seems to be falling apart. It's knowing that His silence isn't absence, it's strategy, that His timing isn't delay, it's preparation, and that the losses you thought diminished, you were actually protecting you. Those who looked at you with disdain will be surprised, because God will make a point to lift you up in front of those who doubted you. Not out of pride, but as a testimony. He will show that He chooses the unlikely, the forgotten, the rejected, and turns them into references. The stone the builders rejected has become the cornerstone. That's in the Word, and that's happening with you. So don't back down. Don't bow your head. Don't fall into the trap of doubt. The enemy wants you to think you're losing when you're actually being repositioned. You're not being forgotten. You're being hidden. And there's a big difference. God's hiding place isn't rejection, it's protection. He hides to prepare. He conceals to strengthen. And when the time comes, He reveals. The same God who hid you is the God who will present you. And it won't be just any presentation. It will be an honorable unveiling where His glory will be seen in your life, and everyone will know it was He who sustained you. But before the honor comes the process, And the process requires you to be ready to lose some connections, to understand that some doors will close, not because you failed, but because God is guiding you to greater ones, to accept that what seemed stable might crumble so He can build something new on solid ground. And maybe in the midst of it all you feel tired, tired of always being the one betrayed, misunderstood, judged, left aside. But here's a secret. The greater the weight of glory God will place on you, the greater the test you need to endure. He's strengthening you from within so you can handle what's coming from without. Yes, there are people planning your downfall, people you'd never imagine, but their plans won't be greater than God's purpose. No weapon formed against you will prosper, and every tongue that rises to accuse you will be condemned. That's the inheritance of the Lord's servants, says the word. You're not being abandoned, you're being shielded. God won't let you enter the new season with contaminated baggage. So yes, it will hurt, it will seem unfair, it will bring tears. But those tears are watering new soil, and in that soil God will make something grow that no one can erase. Those who tried to bury you forgot that you're a seed, and seeds sprout in the dark. You may have been buried in silence, but you'll bloom in public. Because when God exalts, He does so in a way no one can ignore. And when that happens, don't forget, the victory is His, the glory is His, the exposure was His, and the deliverance too. You are chosen. That puts you on a collision course with environments that can't handle light. That's why the resistance comes. But that's also why the promise comes. God will expose the enemy's plans. He will tear the veil. He will show who's who. And you'll know it wasn't coincidence. It was deliverance. It wasn't rejection. It was preservation. And everything that seemed to be falling apart was actually being rebuilt. Don't be alarmed if in the coming days things come to light. Don't despair if friendships break, alliances fall, or secrets are revealed. Just stand firm. It's God at work. He won't let you build your next phase on lies. And when it's all over, because it will pass, you'll look back and understand it was necessary. It was God who exposed. It was He who removed the masks. And it was He who kept you standing, even when everything seemed to collapse. Now it's up to you. What will you do with this word? Ignore it or take a stand? Because the truth is, God is already moving. And it's up to you to decide whether you'll walk in faith or in fear, whether you'll trust the process or resist the transformation. If you feel this word was for you, share it with someone else who needs to hear it. And remember, no one can stop what God has already decided to do. You are chosen. And no matter who planned your downfall, God will expose, and you will overcome.